Hi, I'm Rod Page, and I'd like to give you a quick demo of a website I've made called Species-Cite. So let me just get a little bit out of your way, and we can have a look at Species-Cite. So what is Species-Cite and why did I make it? Well, in a sense, the clue is in the name. What you can see behind me here are pictures of lots of different people, all of whom have either published in taxonomy or related subjects like phylogenetics and systematics. So this is a kind of a snapshot of the taxonomic community. Now this community has often argued that its work is undervalued in a sense, that they don't get as much credit as they deserve for the work they do. And so one suggestion that's been made is that to give taxonomy more credit, every time a biologist uses a species name, they should cite either the original description of that species or maybe a subsequent taxonomic treatment of that species. And those citations would then give credit to the people who did that work that you can see behind me. Now, whatever you think about the merits of that idea, there's a big practical problem. And that for many species, we just don't really have an easy way to find a citation to the original description. You can go to taxonomic databases, and often you find a short, very cryptic string that makes sense if you're a taxonomist for that group, but otherwise doesn't sort of mean much. So Species-Cite is an attempt to sort of tackle this problem. So let me give you some examples. So the way the site works is over on the left-hand side, we've got a search box, you put in a species name. On the right-hand side, there's some sort of background information, some progress reports on how many names have been linked to their publications, and also, crucially, some examples. So let's grab a couple to have a look at. So the first one I'm going to click on is this one here, which is the name of a species of frog. And here you'll see, here's a frog species, and we've got a fully formatted citation here, including a DOI. And if you don't like the particular format that I've chosen, well, you can pick another one. So maybe you like Harvard, or maybe you're a fan of BibTeX, then you've got a formatted citation for that article. Now, if we're lucky, the article itself might be available online, either through a service like Unpaywall, which it is in this case, or through a repository like the Internet Archive. And if I can find that PDF, I'll show it to you. So in this case, this is the original description of this frog, and you can see that the PDF has actually been loaded on the page corresponding to that species. So sometimes Species-Cite knows enough information to do that, is not always the case. And here is the original paper describing that species. In other cases, we maybe have a link to, say, BHL. So now we're going to try a plant species. And we've got a couple of different records in this case, both colored green, which tells us it's a plant. We've got links to JSTOR, which is behind a paywall, but also we've got links to BHL. And if we click on that, we can see the page in BHL where this name occurs. And in this case, this publication just changed the name from one genus to another. So we've got this link between taxonomic names and the publications. Now, you may be wondering at this point, so what happened to all these people, the taxonomists? So the final thing that Species-Cite tries to do is actually connect to these people, the authors of this work. So let me just give you a final example here. So here we can see this is another plant species. We've got the citation, we've got the DOI. But also what's different about this one is down here, we've got not only just the names of the authors, but some information about them. We have the ORCID ID, we have a link to the entry in Wikidata, and we've actually got pictures of them, in this case taken from their ResearchGate profile. So not only can we give you the taxonomic name, and in this case, again, we've got the PDF, so you can read about the description and see some lovely pictures, but we can actually give you some information on who these people were. And so I guess the goal here is to have an experience very like that you might get in a citizen science project like, say, iNaturalist. We've got images of organisms, and then you've got images of the people or the profiles or their avatars. So you get a sense of a community of people sharing an interest in biodiversity. And I would like to sort of replicate that experience looking at the taxonomic literature. So that's Species-Cite. It's very much a work in progress, but I hope you'll find it useful, and thank you very much for your time.